This is Chapter 2, Lesson 3, Percent Proportion. Percent proportion. Well, kind of what it sounds like is looking at percent as a proportion, which means that my denominator will always be 100 of where I'm trying to go. And I'm going to try to solving by cross multiplying and dividing. So if I look up at example 1 here, what I've got is I've got 9/15 equal to n over 100, where in this case n is going to be my percent. I know that because it's over the 100. That means that the 9, right here, my numerator, this is what I have. The 15, that's my total. So to solve this problem right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply and divide. So I'm going to cross multiply the two numbers that I have, which will be 900, and I divide by the one left out, which will be 15. 15 will go into 90. 6 times, I had a 0 left over. That means that it is about 60%, or it is 60%. When I'm setting these up, one of the most important things is that I get the number in the correct position. The of number will always be your total. So the of number is going to be your total, which means that it's going to be in the denominator. Over, the is number tells you what you have. For example, this one is going to be 20. So what I've got now is I've got 20 over 25. The is number over the of number. Of means your total. Equal to, well, if I'm talking about percent proportion, that means that this is going to have to be 100. So this will be my n that I'm trying to find. So once again, I'm going to cross multiply, which will give me 2,000 with 3 zeros, divided by 25. When I take that, I divide it up, and I come up with 8, 0, which means that I have 80%. This one I want you to try on your own. Think about which number belongs as the numerator, which one belongs as the denominator. Okay, let's see how you did. Well, my first step that I would do is I would put the of number will go on the bottom. So that's going to be 50. The is referring back to the price, saying that 12.75 is equal to 100 over n. Ooh, now I don't need to cross multiply in this and divide in this case because I noticed that these two numbers right here are just simply a times 2. So I'll times 2 by that one. So $12.75 times 2 comes out to be 25.5%. 25.5%. Now what I'd like to make sure that we stress in this lesson is that our percent proportion, which is over here in our top right-hand corner, which is our is number, which is what we have, divided by the of number, which is our total, or the whole. This is also known as our part divided by the whole, equal to our percent, which is going to be 100 on the denominator, over n. Now, n can be greater than 100 if our percent is larger than 100. So, if my numerator over here, my part, is larger than my whole, then yes, it'll be larger than 100%. If this right over here is a proper fraction, meaning the numerator smaller than the denominator, then this n will be a value smaller than 100. So I'm going to use this setup to answer my number 1 question. So I'm going to put my n, which is 40%, on top of my 100, equal to, now I need to find out what my 120 represents. And if I look in front of it, I see of. The of over here tells me that that is my whole, which means that 120 will now become my denominator, and x, I'm trying to find out what number is. The is my part. So now I'm going to cross multiply. So 40 times 20. I'll work that out, and I'll get 4,812 divided by the number left over, which is going to be 100. Cross off my zeros, so x will equal 48, or 48 is the part that I was looking for. Now it's your turn. What I'd like you to do is I want you to try C. What number is 5% of 60? So the first thing I need you to do is identify where it belongs in the fraction. So if I want to, I can actually go ahead and start by kind of setting up my proportions over here. I know that this number is going to be 100. Now I just need to fill in where the other part of the number goes. See if you can find out what number is 5% of 60. Okay, let's check. So the 5 hopefully went up there. The 60 goes over here because of the of number. X goes right here. Cross multiply, which will give me 300 over 100, the number left out down there, cross, cross. I have x equals 3. X equals 3. Now what I want you to do is see if you can solve the last one. 12% of 85 is what number? 12% of 85 is what number? Let's check. As you can see, I already set up my fraction. I put x over 85 because 85 is my of number. 12% goes on top of 100. So now I will cross multiply and divide. So I need to take 85 times 12. And I found that 85 times 12 is 1020. Divide that by 100. Cross off the 0. Now, here's the cool thing about dividing by a 10, which is what I've got left. I'm just going to shift my decimal over one place over here. So my x equals 10.2. Now, for example 3, we're doing the same thing, keeping in mind that my percent proportion is my is number divided by my of number equals the percent over 100. So I'm going to start by filling out my fraction. I know that 100 is going to be my denominator, so I'll start there. 25% goes on top. 18. All right, well, I look around the 18, and what do I see? I see that is 18 of what number is my question, which means that my x will be my denominator. 18 is my part, so that'll be my numerator. So I will take 18 times 100, which will be 1800, divided by 25. And I came up with 72. So x equals 72. Now it's your turn. What I want you to do is I want you to try to find 40% of what number is 26. 40% of what number is 26. Remember, go ahead and start by setting up your fractions and work from there. Alright, let's see how you did. So the fraction that I've got set up will be 100 on the denominator, 40 for the numerator, and then I look, is 26. That's my part, so that'll go as my numerator. X goes as my denominator. So I'll multiply this together right here, and I'll come up with 2600 over 40, my number that's left alone. Zeros cross off. 4 goes into 26 6 times. That's 24. That means that there's 2 left over, or 20. That goes in there 5 times. So x equals 65. Alright, now what I'd like you to do is I want you to try one last time on F. 84 is 75% of what number? 84 is 75% of what number? Hopefully you started by drawing your fraction bars. 100% goes as denominator on the right. 75% goes as a numerator. The is belongs to the 84, so that's my part, so that goes on top. X goes on bottom. So that is 8,400 over 75. I just need to work that division problem out. And I came up with x equals 112. And I got that by taking 8,400 divided by 75. For this last problem, I'm going to have to shift through some information. Excuse me, notice I've got a word problem, and then I've got my table with some different foods and different percent. So I'm going to start by shifting out and finding what is useful information. Question number 4 says, the average adult male western lowland gorilla eats about 33.5 pounds of fruit each day. How much food does it need on average adult male gorilla eat each day? So what I need to do is I need to shift out the important information. And the important information that I see right off the bat is this 33.5 pounds of fruit each day. Okay, so I'm going to set up my proportion over here. I'm going to put 100%. Okay, I know that that is not the total amount of food that they eat, so I'm going to put that up top, 33.5. I'm going to now look over at the chart, and I'm going to find out that that equates about 67% of their diet. So I'm going to put that as the percent up top for my numerator. And that'll tell me, the X will tell me the total amount of food that gorilla is going to eat. So I'm going to start by multiplying those right here, which will turn out shifting my decimal over twice, 1, 2. So 3,350 divided by 67. So I will work that out and check it. And I have found that 3350 divided by 67 gives me a value of 50, which means that the adult male gorilla eats about 50 pounds of food each day. So the adult male gorilla eats about 50 pounds of food each day.